AI technology can help is to preserve it more in a more personalized way, to reconstruct images that never existed. Synthetic Memories, which was born as a research project within our studio, and basically what we try to do is to use generative AI to recreate images of memories that were never documented or were lost. So based on the oral description of a moment or of a memory, we create through prompts images that then represent those memories.
Obviously, when I was a little boy, I used to be able to remember the steps for dancing. And there was a sort of garden party or something, and I remember a great green meadow, and I was there dancing. Well, I never was very elegant in my movements, but I think I just remembered what to do.
I think we are creating an image from scratch that it's actually more like an oil painting, and it's kind of glitchy and dreamlike and imperfect, but it does represent the emotion behind that memory of that person that we are working with. And with this, we are actually creating something that it's valuable for the person. Or let's say, talk about a family who is reconstructing memories because they had to leave their countries, because they had to migrate to a new country. They had to leave everything behind. And with this process, they are kind of recovering their family albums.
Do you have a memory of when you went skiing?
Yes, I have, but I've sort of lost most of it. I remember beginning very badly, and I didn't have any lessons, and I used to lean back.
With all these memories that we are generating and archiving, we are creating an online archive of synthetic memories, which sometimes we also turn into an interactive physical archive when presenting the project in cultural or artistic environments like this. This project that can be seen as like highly technological and modern in a very old school way, but that has a reason. We thought it was like a good way to introduce this new methodology with communication codes that people can actually relate to, and old archives use this type of overhead projectors with slides.
So many stories that we can highlight that we've collected over the years. Our friend's granddad, he got very emotional and was literally crying when he held an image that had been inside of his head for 70 years, and when he held it, he wanted to share it immediately. So those images are particularly beautiful to think about, just because what it generated in that person, in that human being.
One more that I remember, it's from a 75-year-old man in Dubai who actually asked us to recreate an image of an old game that it was forgotten now in Dubai. So he remembered when he was little to play with his friends next to the sea, and it was like a kind of old school seaside kind of bowling. He was so happy. He was actually even at the beginning drawing how this game would work, and then when he saw the image and then we printed to him, he was so happy that then he could actually tell it to his grandchildren. It's about the closure, individual closure. It's about creating empathy, bridging knowledge between generations, and preserving knowledge and culture, which is beautiful. Memory is something that is very important for human beings. We realized it's like the scaffold of our personal and collective identities. Yes, we should use technology to preserve memory, as long as it's used in an ethical way.
We went to Gibraltar, and on the first night I remember there was a Spanish group, and I remember the song they sang. I went da 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 da.
What I would recommend to anyone, but that's a personal advice, is yes, to create a personal archive of memories. And because nowadays we are so used to have everything on our phones and in our clouds, which can actually disappear if we think about, make sure that this is saved somehow, but especially for those memories that were not digitalized or archived in a digital manner, archive it in a way that can be then also revisited somehow. This might not have any value for you at the moment, but I'm sure that in future generations, it does have a value.
Use AI only if it makes sense in the context that you're going to be using a technology. So technologies are or can be solutions, but not every technology is a solution to every problem. Just because it exists doesn't mean that we have to use it like that. And by like that, I mean with a certain expectations of like efficiency and automatization, for example.
AI technology can help is to preserve it more in a more personalized way, maybe, to reconstruct images that never existed, to then actually add some sound and movement.
We have for the longest time thought that data was something that could be held in an Excel sheet and in a database, but memory is a form of data that talks about us in a way that's very intimate. Memory is tying us together with the world, and it's connecting us and talking about those relationships. So who gets that power over our identity? Who gets the power over those relationships? So Black Mirror and all those dystopian TV series that are picking on something that's extremely emotional and kind of exploring that how technologies around us could very dystopically affect us. I think they're precisely revealing that memory is a form of data, that we forgot to understand it as so.